Okay, we can proceed now. So we are done with the number of items. Let's look at how to add items to a list. You can have your list such as this one here, and then you may want to add extra items. For example, you have codons here. You may want to add additional codons, or you have numbers. You may want to add additional numbers. So how do we do that? We can use the append function, or you can use the insert. So these are two strategies. Let's start with the append. So first of all, let's create let's say numbers. I have 1, 2, 3. Let's say I want to add the number 4. I can say numbers. I need to indicate the list, the name of that list. In this case, it's numbers. So numbers.append. And then I indicate what I want to add. So in this case, 4. So now if I query for the numbers again, I'm going to have that one here. Let's try with basis. Let's say we have A, J, let's say T. I have 3. If I want to add the 4th one, which is C, I can say basis.append C. So now if I query for basis, I'm going to have that also there. So this append here changes the original list. So take note of that. So this is one way to add items to a list. You can also use the insert function. So the insert function requires you to know the index. Okay, we are going to go into details with indexing later on, but let's just look at the situation here. Let me just use another one. Let's use let's say sequences. I have sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3. So if I want to add another sequence, and then this time I want to add to a particular position. Okay, let's say this is in a particular order, but then you want the new one to be, let's say, in this position, the second position. Then there's where the insert function comes in handy, because that one you can specify a point and then you can just put it there. So it's just like, let's say you want to do splicing, or let's say you want to insert. Good, let's even talk about, let's say, mutation. You want to insert a sequence or a nucleotide into a sequence. Then you can specify the exact position, and then you can place that particular nucleotide or sequence there. So just take this insert command as something like that. So this time, let's say you want to place a sequence in this position, which is second position. So the second position will be what? Index 1. We will talk more about indexing later. So then I can say sequences.insert, let's say position 1, and then I bring my comma, and then I add my other sequences, let's say ACCCC. So let's run this command. So now if I type sequences, you realize that the new one here is here. But you know the append one, when we come to the append always adds to the last. That's the tail. So it always adds here. So the new one 4 here will come here. If we added a 5th one, it will come here in that order. That's how we do. So the same thing with this one here. So the T was here. This was the last one. After appending, the C becomes slash. So it's always adding to this. But with the insertion, you can specify a position. And so that means that the new entry, what you are adding, will now occupy that position, or in this case, the index. So this is how we add new items or new elements to a list.